than never.
Great, wonderful.
Right,
so thank you for all of this. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for this retreat. Thank you for the whole Guidely team for creating this wonderful experience. And thanks for having me. I love to teach, and I'm feeling emotional right now, and we're going to talk about emotions. So I'm going to take a breath and allow everything to flow. Yes, thank you. So I do have 10 principles for a life worth living, and I'm going to talk about principle 3, which I think is very powerful. And it really began this series for me. Principle 3 is be in alignment with the creative power of your word. So all of my principles are based on new thought, ageless wisdom, and there's nothing new. There's nothing new here, except for one particular thing. This is the difference: to develop a consistent practice every single moment. So we get to practice these principles moment to moment to moment. I believe that when we begin to pay attention to the words that we use, that we really live a life that we intentionally want to live. Words either create or they destroy. They take us high or they take us low. And perhaps right now you can think about, maybe there's a word that your family has passed on to you that you use that may not be really powerful for you. There's a word that my family used. My grandmother used it. My great-grandmother used to use it. And it's poor. Can you imagine? So they would say, poor Karen, poor Billy, poor Jane. And maybe 6 years ago, I said, not anymore. Karen is radiant. Karen is rich. Karen is limitless. So the subtlety and taking authority in what we say about ourselves to ourselves is really very important. So here's the idea. We become aware. With awareness comes insight. With insight comes a practice. So we begin to embody and integrate a new way of living in our lives moment to moment. So what are we practicing? What are we opening ourselves up to? We get to move from the external world where we have been taught to seek validation, to seek unconditional love, and move to the internal beingness, where I believe, and the ancient wisdom teachings teach this, that we have everything that we need pressed down and running over. And we move from that to the eternal. We listen to that. We begin to trust that. We allow our higher self to rise up. This thing, whatever we call it, that maintains and sustains us more than the world can. So we do this work for ourselves, of course. We do this work for our past generations that maybe could not have completed this work. And we do this work for generations, some say 7 generations ahead of us, individuals that we will never know. So I like to say that my relatives, whether they're on this side or on the other side, they've passed me the baton, and I get to take that baton and run with it. One of my assignments is to heal and reveal the truth of my beingness as much as I can while I am in this body temple. And you know what is so incredible about each of us, because we're here, is that we're mindful. Everybody doesn't get to do this work. I think someone has said that maybe less than 2% of the globe has the opportunity to be mindful and to practice that which we are practicing. So our assignment, our charge is to have a willingness to be more. And I want to say to you something that my master teacher, Michael Bernard Beckwith, has said. He says, this is our time. We can, therefore we must. And he also says, if we can't do it now, when are we going to do it? If not now, when? So we get to choose. We get to choose how we are moving through our lives moment to moment. And I really do mean moment to moment, to pay attention, the awareness, the insight, the practice, and then birthing something that we really want to be and activate as our lives. So I'm going to take you through a process. And this process is something that I came up with as I was teaching one of my classes. I'm going to move through it quickly. And so go back and look at the recording again so that you can stop it and start it and really get the essence of it. So I want you to get comfortable in your seats, whatever that looks like for you. Get comfortable. And I want you to get something that you can write with. I'm going to ask you to write down a couple of words that will come up for you. And I want you to, as we move through this process, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and you'll know when to open your eyes. Because you'll open your eyes when you're going to write down something. But I'm going to have my eyes open sometimes, and sometimes they're going to be closed. So let's take a breath together as you're closing your eyes. And release. And this breath allows us to settle into our body temples. And if you choose to, just stretch your arms out to feel the fullness of your body temple, just a big wide stretch. And you can take your hands and put them on your lap, your palms up, and then stretch your legs out, wiggle your toes, and then ground your feet in the earth, on the floor. You're uncrossing everything so that you can be open and available to that which is wanting to express as we move through this process. So continue to close your eyes. And as you are closing your eyes, scan your body temple. Scan it again. Check in with yourself. And remember, you're paying attention to the breath as you're doing this too. The breath grounds us. The breath brings us back to center. The breath reminds us of that which it needs to remind us. So I want you to write down some words right now that capture how you're feeling about your body temple, how you're feeling about yourself right now. Just write down a couple of words, not sentences, but just words. And I'm going to say this several times as we move through this process. You're not going to judge yourself. You're not comparing yourself. You're catching words that are popping into your awareness right now. And you're listening. So here's the first question. What is your conversation to yourself about yourself? Write down a word. What do you say to yourself about yourself? Listen. And as you're listening to your body temple, feel into it. What is the feeling tone of what you say to yourself about yourself? Right now, are you in joy? Are you in love? Are you in worry? Are you in fear? No judgment. Are you in the past? Are you in the present? What is the feeling tone? Remember, you're creating an awareness of how you're feeling about you in this particular moment. So you want to capture that. Are you encouraging yourself as you are paying attention to what you're saying to yourself about yourself? Or are you saying words like, I'm unworthy, I'm not good enough, I'm scared, I'm useless? Here's a word that I hear often, I'm stupid, I'm not attractive enough, I'm not there yet, I don't have. I'm reminding you that these words that you use, these words that you say to yourself about yourself, are a snapshot of what you are creating in your life as you're moving from moment to moment. And as those words are coming up, tap into your emotions. I just think of emotions as things that are unhealed. And emotions give us information. Do you feel scared or fearful, or is there some shame there, anxiety, as you say what you're saying to yourself about yourself? Are you comparing? Are you comparing yourself to others? Are you comparing yourself to where you think you should be because you're at a certain age? Take a breath and release. So what are you listening to as you're moving through this process? What are you listening to? Are you listening to your ego, that when the ego is running wild, it wants to limit you? It wants you to stay small, to stay in your box, to stay in your comfort zone. Or are you listening to something more outside of yourself? Are you being distracted by other people's opinions and false beliefs about you? And do you believe these false beliefs? I call them lies. Things that are not true. You believe things that people say about you that you know that are not true, and you believe the lies. These lies keep us small, they keep us unmotivated, they keep us trapped, they keep us stagnant. Do you believe the lies that you tell yourself? And maybe capture a couple of words that you want to use that you know is a lie about yourself, and you've been carrying it with you. That you're scared, that you're limited, that you're limited. Write some of those words down. As I first started this almost 20-year journey that I've been purposefully practicing in New Thought, I started reading the Four Agreements. And this is what Don Miguel Ruiz says. The human mind is like a fertile ground where seeds are continually being planted. The seeds are opinions, ideas, and concepts. You plant a seed, a thought grows. The word is like a seed, and the human mind is so fertile, he says. What is important is to see which kind of seeds our mind is fertile for, and prepare it to receive the seeds of love. So that's what we're doing right now. We're preparing. And I want you to feel into the emotions that you might be feeling right now. These lies that you've written down, these limiting words, these false beliefs. Let yourself go right now and feel these emotions that go beyond the words. Feel the pain. Maybe there's some sadness, some darkness. Maybe you feel unsafe or unheard, unseen. And as we stretch this out a little bit, in addition to the words, maybe there's some painful stories that you've been holding on to, that you're unworthy, that you're not good enough, that you cannot achieve your dream because. Or maybe there's a habit and a pattern that you're involved in. You play everything small. You get upset with someone, you withhold love. You settled all your life. Maybe you're somebody that doesn't express your emotions because you've learned to live with the pain. You squish everything down, you repress, you suppress. Perhaps as I'm saying these words, there's a friend or a family member that when you think of them, your thoughts turn to anger, into disappointment, into sadness. Where does this land in your body, Temple? Some people get it in their shoulders or in their jaws or in their necks or in their backs. Where does it land? So let's take a breath right now and release. And as you continue to feel the words, the stories, a hurt, a pain, a sadness and anger, perhaps in the past, as I've said, you've run away from these things. And if you've done that, you're malpracticing. You're in violation of the law, the universal law of life. This life that wants you to fully express. So I want you right now to, as you allow these emotions to come up, let them come up. And as I do this process, there are times that I, as you saw in the beginning, that I may even feel some emotion that is coming up that I get to release that no longer serves me. So let the emotions come up. Let them come up. And as you continue to pay attention to your breath, I want you now to tap into an awareness that you are more than these emotions. You are more than these things that keep you small and limited, that keep you from fully expressing your life. You are more than this. And that's a powerful awareness. And that's a powerful affirmation. I am more than this. I am more than these words and these experiences and than these living limited beliefs. And this is what I want you to remember. The truth is that that which is within me is greater than that which is in the world. That's why we pull ourselves out of the world, we turn within and remember who and what we are, these powerful, magnificent beings. So right now, as you're remembering to say, I am more than this, this is an opportunity to stand in your spiritual authority, your nobility. Take a breath and release. And now we get to tap into a willingness to forgive. We've heard some of the guides talk about the importance of practicing forgiveness. So I want you to listen to these words. I forgive myself for believing the lies. I forgive myself for believing the stories. I forgive myself for playing it small. I forgive myself for feeling unworthy. I forgive myself for the shoulda, woulda, couldas. I forgive myself for the less thans. I forgive myself for not loving myself first. So first, I forgive myself. And as you feel into this willingness to forgive, I want you to remember that forgiveness is an ongoing process. We always have an opportunity to forgive. It's an ongoing process. We get to do it every single moment if that's what we have to do. And you have taken the first step in beginning again, in establishing a new conversation with yourself. This is just the beginning. And forgiveness as an ongoing process, any inch of forgiveness counts. So take a step towards that. Take another step towards that. And now I want you to give yourself permission to make a different choice when a lie or a story pops up into your awareness. Permission allows an opportunity to welcome something new, to begin again, to practice something that will take us higher, into the realm of infinite possibilities. So what are you permitting yourself to be in this new moment? What is your new agreement with yourself? Your new conversation? So as we round this off, I want you to think of some time, some place, some situation when you felt loved and adored and appreciated, when you felt powerful and strong. This time, you know it's already happened because you've experienced it. It becomes your touchstone. So when the lie pops up, you get to transmute it and remember, oh yeah, this is who I am. I'm powerful, I'm beautiful, I'm strong, I'm wise, I'm creative. This is a new set point for what is possible in your life. You get to remember what is possible. So here's the choice. What are you trusting? Are you trusting the world, or are you trusting your internal guidance system? Whatever it is that you call it, I think that's what Abraham Hicks calls it. Whether you call it the universe, your gut, your intuition, something told me, whatever it is that you're calling it, are you going to trust that? Because this internal, eternal broadcast is always announcing the good news about you. And you get to listen now from a divine place where you've never been hurt, harmed, or endangered. A place that loves and adores you more than you can possibly imagine. So now I want you just to write down a new way that you're describing yourself with the I am. The I am. I am brilliant. This is my favorite. I am great, grand, and glorious. Make up your own. I am poised and confident. I am a thing of beauty. I am activating harmonious good in my life. I am falling in love with myself. So you're going to be creating affirmations that remind you who you are. And right now, I want you to take a breath and feel the good news in and through and as your body temple. And as I'm feeling it right now, I am feeling, I get goosebumps when I feel something like that. So feel this newness that is birthing itself in and through and as your body temple. This is your new agreement, your new conversation with yourself. Embody it, use it, be it. So right now, I'm going to ask you to take another breath. And as you release it, I want you to open your eyes. And one of the things that I love that we get to do is that we get to smile. The smile is an indication of what we are open and available to. Our hearts are open, we are available to grow, develop, and expand in ways that we can never even imagine. So begin to practice using words and thoughts about yourself that are loving and kind, that uplift you. And then when you do that, you get to do it for everybody else. I think that's all I have. All of this allows us to create the life that we really want to live. And it's all happening now. So blessings and love. That's it.
Okay, I do have goosebumps.
Yes.
I do have goosebumps.
Good.
And I have running mascara. So. And I don't think I'm the only one. That was really powerful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for participating in this.
Oh my
Thank you,
God.
everyone.
I'm going to need you to close out the. I have tears on my chin.
Give me a minute. Still landing.
Karen,
Wow.
that was so beautiful. Really.
Thank you.
Wow.
So feel free to drop in how you feel, guys. It's I feel like, can we open mics for a second? Just
Yeah.
yeah. Let's get in a good, I
If
feel. if you're
If you
okay
want
with
to.
that, and if you have time, we're trying to be very respectful to 21 minutes and whatever, but I feel like breaking the rules a little bit. So
We made
unmute whoever feels like they want to share. I mean, I can tell you this touched me and definitely connected me to the power, to the creative, to the wisdom, to the incredible. So who wants to share? And I'm
May I just say hello to Anne Francoise. We've been sitting here in this group. We know one another. So I love you.
I love you, Karen. This was just what I needed. Thank you
Good.
so much. Everyone who doesn't know Karen needs to know Karen. She's the best of the best. And she brings the best out of everyone. She brings the best out of me. I love you, Karen. I thank you.
I
for
love
this.
you too. Thanks for being here.
I had to. You're here. And thanks to Shannon and Amir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So beautiful.
And my mom spoke French, and when I hear French accent, it all like instantly takes me back home. So thank you.
Yes, yes. Wonderful.
Anybody wants to share?
And thank you, Leanne, for saying that it was better than expected. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. So practice this. You know, this is something I'm always paying attention to the words that I use, always. And so and it takes time, you know, talk about 21 days, it takes time. And it takes the courage to be able to do it. And we do it for ourselves. We really do. We do it for ourselves. So speak about yourself from the I am consciousness, and your life changes. It really does.
I'm happy to share quickly because I know we're coming up to time. But Shannon, I have tears running down my face even still. But I find it fascinating that the things that we do for the people that we care about are the things we find so hard to do for ourselves.
Yes, yes.
And this is the thing that I'm really reawakening in myself. I'm really good at looking after everybody else. I'm absolutely horrible looking after me.
Yes.
So thank you, Karen, for sharing.
Yes, thank you. We have to put our mask on first, right? When we're on the plane. Yes, we have to build our foundation first before we can do anything for anyone else.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a good point. Wonderful.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
And I did see you say you need a hug, so we're sending you a virtual hug.
Yes, we are.
Gaia sent me one about 20 minutes ago. Thank you, Gaia.
And Tora, I think I saw you love a hug too, and I gave you one at lunch, but I'm happy to give you another one. You can meet up again. I think it was 2 actually. Yeah. Anyone else want to share? Rebecca, you kind of look like you want to share. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Karen, that was absolutely beautiful.
I want to see where you are on the screen.
I'm right here.
There you are. Okay, good.
And I was multitasking in the very beginning, but you made me stop.
Good.
Yeah.
Because this is the time that it takes. You know, we're talking about moment to moment living. And that's what this process was about. Yeah, I'm glad you stopped. Yeah.
Me too. Me too. Thank you. And I saw Shannon crying, and I wanted to. I mean, I could feel everything. So thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
This was definitely what I needed tonight, and I think many of us. So
Great, great.
Beautiful and well done. Really very powerful.
Thank you so much.
Thank
So
you.
what do we have? Anybody else wants to share, or we jump to what do we have tomorrow? What do we have tomorrow?
we have a Koswa Dardane Edwards tomorrow.
yeah.
I'm very excited about her, as I am with every one of our guys, including Rebecca, who will be on our closing day. So a little shout out, Rebecca.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And Akoswa joins us tomorrow with a message of unconditional self-love and living a life in love and personal power that comes from embracing the pillars of change, which have reshaped her life. She has an incredible story, And I'm excited to have her join us tomorrow. Yeah.
Really looking forward
Oh,
to that.
let me drop the link to do a discovery session with Karen in the chat. My brain is still coming back online. As always, it will be in your portal as well as the replay, which I'll definitely be revisiting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
And looking forward to seeing you
let's
tomorrow.
unmute.
Yes.
Yeah, unmute.
See you
and
tomorrow.
say good night.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Blessings,
Bye.
blessings.
Blessings
Thank
and
you so
love.
much. Good night.
Bye.
Love. Bye.
Bye.